Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Welcome. Hey, Shardy, welcome. Happy Friday. Jenny Inning, can you play the serial killer elusive target? Oh, that's that one. Yeah, I know which one that is. I have a video for that on my channel. That's right. Good evening. Evening for you. It's just past lunch for me.
Happy Friday, Rick. Aging Gangsta Grandma hug.
Happy Friday. Thank you, Aging FPS or Penny, for the 7 months resub. Good to see you. Let's see. How did I do this again? Coin him and then maybe I could case poison him, I guess, for change. Very quick one. This is easy, guy. Yeah, it is. It is very easy, but gotta be careful not to make a mistake. Let's see. I can do it like this if I don't get spotted through the window. One done then.
Welcome to Vermont, 47. The sensor should be somewhere in Whittle.
Sensor, yeah.
Looking for a potential new victim. He will likely seek out places where people are gathered, so I suggest you look for crowded areas. This might be the place, 47. A garden party would be the ideal location for the sensor to identify his next victim. Ironically, this is exactly what you should do as well.
Hello? Okay.
Why not just go inside?
There we go.
It's open to everyone.
Easy peasy.
That was an A+, 47.
That was
The
an
money
A
is
plus
being
47.
transferred. Now to find an exit.
Just take ages to get to the exit. Maybe bring a crowbar to get one of the other exits, the one of the manhole exits. But yeah, thank you. Let's got that one out of the way. It's an easy one. First time you play it, of course, you have to find out who it is, but after that, it's real easy. New personal best. Yeah, I only did it one. Year 5 version. Okay. That's good. Yeah. The come in 20 days. Okay. Still have contracts left. Oh, you have a contract. Let's take a look at that then. Look. Contract 1300 by White Half. Okay, so it's Japanese or something or something. 1300th contract. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is pit crew. Where I gotta be in the suit. Cannot change my disguise. Okay. Being in the suit. Arena. I'll start here. Let's see, any method, huh? Let's go from here. Let's see. Hey Bandit, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Alonso. Yo. 10 stream streak. Nice, Bandit. Thank you so much.
Oh, you know what someone told me the other day? This.
Where they are. Oh, they're all over here. Okay. Who's the lady? Only one restriction on food. That forces me not to change. Forces me to start here. Okay. Okay, I can see what's going on. Oh. While I'm here.
Hang about! Look out! For Superman!
Happy Friday. Hey Arna, welcome. Friday to you too.
Once again, just to get this straight, you had no idea.
Here. Get out of the way, people.
This is where you see the car technology of
Oh man, it's are they all medical? Oh, he's the one going in for the test. Ooh, he guy. Okay, let's get out here. I still can't believe.
All about getting some miles under the hood. It's as much about the car's stamina and technology as it is about the driver's talent.
Crap.
Bruno Diaz came in third last year on this track. He'd want to do better this time around. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see him on the let me be
Crap.
that this is different from Grand Prix in that it's all about which team can go the distance. Fuel efficiency and reliability. That's the name of the game. This is where you see the car technology of tomorrow.
Stealth Inc. 2 has been absolutely fantastic for me. 20 hours span goes from, yeah, Stealth Inc. is a very cool game. I have it somewhere. I have both, I think.
Can you believe the nerve of that ticket tout?
Yeah, and if I now go in here, it says,
I need to see that image,
Again,
sir.
the secret of endurance racing is to keep that car going until the end. This race is not over until the clock ticks down.
okay.
What a day for the global innovation race, huh?
You know, I never really did understand why Sierra was going through this whole day job
Sorry,
thing.
sir. I can't let
I mean,
you through.
CFO of Comstock, sure. It sounds impressive, but just think about all the time she's wasting. Why not just live off the family estate?
Well, in that it's all about which team can go the distance. Whoa! Fuel efficiency and reliability. That's the game.
Oh, God,
This
help.
is where you
Please,
see the
help.
of tomorrow.
We've got trouble.
Wasn't there a crowbar here somewhere?
Look at these beautiful cars. These cars are the future of motorsports. You see the grip on these babies? It's just so strong. I mean, you could drive straight up a wall.
You copying Central? You got a real troublemaker out there.
Don't forget.
Crap.
No, this race is all about getting some miles under the car. It's as much about the car's technology as it is about the driver's talent.
Anyone got eyes on Tango? Come in.
Gotta use a different strategy. Okay. Replan. Let's not do this. Let's just take a chronic hack. Go in through the side. Yeah. Do you play puzzle games? Well, I'm playing one now. I consider Hitman to be a puzzle game. Yeah, but I did play Talos Principle. I need to start Talos Principle 2 still. I have that in my library, but
Man, those mechanics at the constant team have a name.
can I jump this? Can. Okay.
Say what?
You don't? You don't consider this a puzzle game, or you don't play puzzle games? It's a puzzle game. Basically, I gotta figure out how to solve the puzzle of killing them. Yeah, I can kind of see why you wouldn't consider this a puzzle game, but yeah. Okay. Health game, of course.
Did you hear anything about Thierry? How's he doing?
No. But judging by the state of the car,
Okay.
Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty
Crap.
in here. It's time to get
It's more dynamic than a puzzle game because of what you can do. Yeah, it's they're puzzles with different solutions. Since when is this here? Is this new?
Vision on Tango! Ow! Ow!
Hey, over here! I see all the signs of adult attention.
Where's the last one? Thing. Oh, over there they fled. Okay. It was just a stupid mistake. Like in Talos 2, you can solve puzzles in a few different ways, but not the same amount as options as Hitman 3. So just because you have more options, it's not a puzzle. Oh well. I can see where you're coming from, but yeah. I disagree, basically. I consider it a puzzle. But you're free to not see it as a puzzle game.
This is a restricted area. Show me your hands.
How much time to make? Don't worry, folks. Anything.
Fuck. You can also see this as a stealth first-person shooter, but you're not always shooting. You can get through the entire game without firing your gun.
Man, those mechanics at the constant.
So it's not an FPS as such. So what is it? Right?
Huh?
Freelancer is what made it odd. Okay. Oh yeah, well, maybe there's something to say for that.
What?
I think I just heard something.
Pom 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 pom. Out here. Pom 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 pom. Hey, Wells Raids, welcome, welcome. All I see in Twitch Hitman feed is people playing the card way. Yeah.
So did Dr. Sorensen manage to get Sierra Knox's phone number?
Oh, and I can't exit here because I cannot change outfits. Okay. I see what you did there. Crap. I exit here without being...
I'm telling you, Miss Knox is going to be dead.
Let me just repeat some ground rules for those of you new to Endurance. You gotta cover...
Is there a crowbar right over there?
in the time frame. When the time's up, we have our winner.
Might as well take a crowbar with me. Because no, that's a hammer. If I had a hammer in the morning. I gotta get out of here. This could go all the way over there. We'll take the boat exit. Good. All over this land. Oh no 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 no! You didn't see me. Okay, so gotta open the back door. Ah, that doesn't work. Exercise extreme caution. I so wanted it to work. Yeah, me too. I was hoping it would punch through the glass and the thing, but yeah. Apparently not. You didn't know the back door could be opened like that? Well, live and learn. I knew it could be done from the front by just shooting through the door. I thought, oh, maybe this is glass and the it's like a paper block. Hoping, but sadly I didn't. Nice. Okay. It was fun. Okay, let's see how the global cheater board's dead. 48 seconds. What? Takes me longer to get there. Ballpark. 48. Well, missed the opportunity to make it 47, but I guess they... How the hell do you get there so fast? I take for... Or... Oh, I know where another crowbar is, but it's far out of the way. Edit. Then maybe... If arena... We're closer. Probably don't need this. Let's try that. White Half makes some good contracts. Some are hard. Oh, you know him? I don't. I only see the block, so I don't even know that it means White Half. Okay, let's see if we can shave off some time of that 4 minutes change. God damn it.
Efficiency and reliability.
See, I'm already a minute in. How the hell do you kill these people? Get out in 48 seconds. It takes me more than a minute to get there.
I'm telling you, Miss Knox is going to be...
So did Dr.
No way.
Oh shit! Please, do anything! Oh my god!
What?
Crap. Oh dear God. Might be better to go through that all. Try that again. Yes, there is. Gotta be in the suit. And I cannot change. So yeah. Otherwise, well, I would have started as the medic, yeah. Yeah, only one has the restriction, so, but that's basically to stop you from changing the disguise, starting as the medic. Sniping from the overpass? Yeah, but I cannot reach the guys in the back. That's a thing.
For all you race buffs out there, I can tell you that the winner will again be presented with champagne. This race is all about getting some miles on the champagne.
Crap.
As it is about...
Let's take... I don't need this, so this... Let's see, you can panic them from there. Oh, right, I could... Interesting. It has to be sniping somehow, yeah. Oh...
leave the area and don't panic.
Okay, I'm with you here. 100%.
What's happening?
I'm telling you, Miss
I'm
Knox is
coming
gonna
for
be
you!
This.
Whoa! Oh God! Help! Please!
These guys, how the hell? Did I get these guys then? Because this is not snipeable from anywhere reasonable. Unless you can like shoot through the
Okay.
I can try a sniper rifle with a penetrating silent sniper somewhere in the, like the covert here. One green eyes penetrate. Maybe. Overpass is longer. It is if you shoot from the stairs underpass. Okay. But then I'll have to go through like a window and a wall. Wonder if that... Don't think that works. But we'll see. You never know till you try, right? From here, you mean? Yeah, already 30 seconds in. Through the window, through the wall.
Get on. And who knows what might happen.
No chance. Doesn't work. A boost to a street light. Yeah, I boosting to a street light. Then, but still, it goes through the window, but it doesn't go through the back wall, so that doesn't work. I could try sniping from the overpass because maybe I can shoot through the roof. I doubt it. Could try. No, Hitman sometimes has weird stuff when you shoot through a window and then the floor or something. Does some weird stuff. But and yeah, boosting. I never boost. I don't even know. Yeah, I know in theory how it works, but never use it. Wish they never brought that back, but I can't even. I can't even see from here. Yeah, that doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
Can
You
shoot
gotta
these
get
guys, no problem.
You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get
Swifty, thank you so much for the follow, Dester. Yeah, see. And still. Yeah. It's not gonna work. Other rounds. Why doesn't it... There we go. Yeah, this is not working for me. Replan. Oh, get rid of the... I'll just have to get in there without panicking them or something. Yeah, it takes forever to reload, yeah. It takes forever to take out of the box. Then reloading is such a pain in the ass. I don't like these long rifles. I usually take one, but I had to try one with one that pierces, but it doesn't pierce. It only pierces bodies, not like walls. So. Coin. Gotta coin the guy. Boom, boom, boom. See how... Already 30 seconds in. I'm not even there yet.
Oh my, Moses Lee is just flying out. Remember, folks, look at those lap times. Well, I guess...
Move along.
What was that?
God damn it.
I dare you, punk! You don't have the balls to finish the job!
God damn it.
Miles under the hood. It's as much about the car's stamina and technology as it is about the driver's talent.
And I can't shoot for shit for some reason. Maybe I should get the use the baller or something. Fuck, man. Oh well. Wish they gave us a sniper unlock with the explosive rounds from the sniper assassins level. Ooh. That would be cool. Yeah, in the sniper assassin level you can shoot through walls, right? Yeah. Pierce is bullshit, yeah. They had a piercing rifle with the Drazina Arctic in the game and they choose to remove it because some people got upset. Yeah, I know that there was some guy went all nuts on social media, right, to get it removed. There we go. Number 3. I'll take it. It's alright. I'd have to see a video. Probably people boosting or doing some weird shit. Maybe launching a propane tank to a strategic place that blows up everybody. I don't know. Let's see how that's a problem. Yeah. Guess he had a problem. On the other hand, I can see how that's a bit overpowered. Because you can just shoot from across the map through a wall and kill a dude. Yeah. Does it require skill to align the targets? Okay. Got another one from Cheyenne. Okay. Let's see. Contracts. What do we have? Louvre theft. Okay, so we're going to Paris. Louvre jewels was thefted. You must eliminate the thieves to find the jewels. Any disguise, scissors, and fiber wire. Okay. Your contract on 2025. Nice. Oh, equipment. Is that your equipment? Or was it remade for you? Go down a bit. Let's see. Oh, shall we choose a suit at random? I didn't make it for nothing. Oh, maybe.
That's nice.
Themed, the big red wolf. Okay. Red wolf. Unless I start somewhere else, of course. Fiber wire. So I gotta take a fiber wire with me. It's me, you idiot! Phones. Yes, it's you. Okay. And I gotta have some scissors. Probably in the department downstairs. People are right here. Exactly. All guards. One, so why not? One. Let's take a out taser there.
Hello there.
Just in case. Hey, Dark Matter, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Go from here. Let's see if there's a there's some scissors there. I would expect one that in that area because they're getting dressed and having. Get out of my way, dude. Haha, see?
Excuse me.
All upstairs. Okay.
Did you do Maria's hair? Good job.
Uh-huh. Okay. Thought that was a... They're like a... somewhere over here. How far up are they? 3. Okay. Not even trespassing here. Oh, I'm trespassing.
What the? Command, thought I heard something. Checking it out.
Oh, there's some scissors right here. Okay. Got you now, bitch. Go. Let's take that before anybody takes a peek. Okay. Look at this lonely guy over here.
Please place your bids.
Oh, you're that guy. Okay. Oh, this is this dude.
Switch to echelon and keep the package.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't want to come here. Fine. Hey, dude.
Hey, what's up? What's that doing here?
Bye. Here. Oh, he's the. I fucked up already. Okay, let's see. I can. Oh, I can just lure you in here. That's not a real problem. That's not a problem. And that's.
What?
Alright, my attention.
That's,
Yeah.
Oh, you're the fiber wire dude. Okay. Like this. Drag you over here to get you out of sight. That dude. Okay. Like, whatever.
Wait a minute.
Lure him over there.
And possible disturbance in my
Pop him in the head.
Checking it out.
And
Security!
okay. What about this dude? You.
Kind of third-rate
Bum, bum, bum,
contractor.
bum. Oh, okay. Oh, it's him. Yeah. Oh, okay. In that case, not even gonna start up. Oh, but then I'm still. Are there scissors upstairs? Because I do need the scissors. Whoop. Yeah, the very dramatic whoop. Let's see. Hitman. But this is Paris, so that is 1. Oop. Oh, look at that. There's 1. Passage. Right over here. Kill the dude over there. Go here. Get the sit right here. Oh, they're in the bathroom. Where I pushed that dude. Okay. Yeah, so I am starting over here. First to the Hitman maps with back on the boa factor.
Man, whoever owns this place is one serious hoarder, you know? downstairs. You gotta be kidding me.
Going there.
Man, got some strange noises here. Looking into it. Over.
Oh, right. This is off if I do. Here. The way. He wasn't anything special, right? Fiber wire, okay. Oh, okay. I can get the.
Jesus. What kind of third-rate contractor did this whole light rig setup?
Okay.
We might have a situation. I'll check the perimeter. Over.
Oh, I might as well give him the. Then I need him.
Say what? What's that?
Okay.
Whoa!
Here. Safe enough. Here. Get the scissor guy. Yeah. Why can't I grab the scissors? There we go. This.
Something's amiss here. We're one guard short.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
So, can you tell me about what Victor did?
Victor.
All right.
There's a lot of
That way they don't care about me. There we go. Whoop. Hey, okay. Whoop. Yeah, that can be such a thing also when you're playing freelancer. You're doing something and then suddenly whoop. What the hell did I do wrong? But it's just the game wanting to let you know something or so, something or other, and then there's nothing really wrong. Nice. Okay. Too bad. 156. 315. These two had the same strategy. These three basically had the same strategy, and then there's me. Okay. So they figured out this wonder guy with a throne. Can shave off a few seconds, but not an entire minute. So, with my strategy. That came from Absolution originally. Music from Entering the Library, I think. Oh, okay. I haven't played much of the old ones. I don't even think I finished the old ones. Played Blood Money, I think. That where you have to go through a passage where there's like a chopper shooting at you. There's a market where you have to like you have to navigate and kill somebody. Then I can't remember which one it is, but I never finished it for some reason. Probably because I started with this and then I got the old one for cheap. And I found the gameplay a bit janky or something. Probably it.
Hello there.
You've played them all, but I remember Blood Money and Absolution the most. Yeah. I could see. I think I have them on Steam, so I'm gonna check in my Steam library which one it was. Hitman. Oh, it was Absolution. I played that one for 5 hours. I don't have Blood Money. I have Contracts and Absolution, Hitman 2, Hitman Sniper Challenge. Okay. I have these two crackers left. It's very linear compared to the others, but I still love it. Yeah. Yeah, it was very linear from the parts I played. It's very different from the from the later ones, like 1, 2, and... Okay, so this was a pain in the ass, right? Also, the last one. This contract was created by a member of the Hitman Cherry. Oh. Why are you so skilled at this? Oh, this is the girl that's outside with the other dude, I think. Oh, that's them. Any method? Or the really any method?
Hello there.
Change starting this guy. Oh, but they're not. Oh, they're upstairs now, not downstairs. Version, I think. That isn't. So they're knooching upstairs. Started this one. And basically pop them because they won't be seen by the dude, I think. Or I could down. Hey, Panda. Could only. Oh, yeah, it's suit. Thank you. I thought it said anything, but it's suit, and do not try. Thank you for the heads up, Panda. Start here, so I start. Could give the proxy taser to the guard, then like Win is down in the kitchen, I think. Hey Corrido, welcome. Happy Friday. Let's go with this and see where we Where's the woman then? Yeah, she's in the... So they are where I think they are. There.
It's time to drop.
Thought I could. Oh, it's here. Okay. It's time to drop 47 shoes. If I can get here, I can get here. Yes. Oh, the greenhouse too. Okay.
There's some weird stuff going on here. Who's throwing shit?
Crap. Okay, but we can get up there. It's no problem. Okay, let me go. Okay. Go this way. That was awesome. Being electrocuted at the same time, I'm punching him in the face. Her in the face.
He had to carry some heavy bolts to the top floor. He complained about back pain for the entire weekend.
Okay. The appropriate outfit for this map, right? Okay. Box it.
You must have been in some incredibly dangerous situations, right? Shootout. Huh? Look what I found! A weapon!
Stay in cover. Let me through.
I'm on it.
What? Who left that weapon there?
Okay, now I have to get to the grenade. Other side. Way over there. What is the best way to get there? Question. Go through here? No.
I'm securing now. Am I supposed to clean this mess up? No, you should definitely get Ramon. That's Lady Lumber Glass.
Pom 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 pom.
Mary is so upset. She's never seen a dead body before.
Life can be tough sometimes.
And that detective asked to come here. Madam Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to snoop around?
Okay, let's see how we can get her. Oh, I should have brought a...
But he was such a gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
You need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
I'm really at my bloody limit.
Okay, coin.
41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think. Amy is a great
Okay. Pom 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 pom.
There are a lot of keys around. You're gonna have to be a bit more. Do you have a fun keychain on it or anything?
Oh, no. Just a...
Jeez.
Go. Duh. Winning.
Duh. Winning.
Thank you, thank you. Dun, dun, dun. 435. The Argus do this in 247? 147. Like my Panda in 116. Nice, Panda, nice. 219, and here I am. That last. Wonder. Want to see something. Possible, but yeah, there's no sniping position for them from over here. About they're like right over here. Maybe lure one of them over here. If I kill one of them, they'll be right inside. Sniping from there is not an option. I snipe open the door. Is that even an option if you go here? Then the question is, how do I get the girl? Can't start here or here, so you have to start. I think this is closer than this. Start here. How are they distributed then? You spent for 34. That's basically what I had. Still there, yeah. Doesn't really matter. Also nothing. They don't go here and cannot snipe this from anywhere. Over here? That would be a shot, right? That right. Huh. right through this window here.
Apologizing for a major cock-up.
And that's not visible. And I can't. I'll take it. I don't want to spend a very long time on trying to figure that out. And this. Oh, that's the guy. I gotta take his outfit. Gotta melee him in his outfit. So you gotta make him go to sleep first. Have him be found so you can take his outfit. Then he has to waken up. Change again back in his outfit, and then I can go and kill him. Whoa, this is pain. Only one exit is effective. Have to like throw a cheeseburger, apple, and a blueberry muffin. But for this one, you got to be in a nice armor. Okay, so he's in the glass box. Steak muffin. Where do I find an apple in it? Know where they are, but known as What do we get?
Sure, why not?
Looks guru suit. No, there's a muffin.
Hello there.
Hey, bye. Welcome. Happy Friday. I'm thinking about that pain in the ass contract on scale. I just opened it. Trying to decide what is the best. Probably an apple in the kitchen. There's a cheeseburger in the kitchen? Oh, I can hide that in the kitchen. Palmer. Make him go to sleep. I don't know. I don't know.
Tell me, was it, my friend? It's not just any old drink. We are talking about the famous Arc Society signature. Why does it matter? They don't serve it anymore.
There's apple. No, it's an apricot. Got that before I do the wrong thing.
Hot sauce and celery, bitters, rare French cognac.
Apple.
Anything with egg. Hot sauce and celery. Oh, that's interesting. There was a time when you were more open to experimentation. Like that weekend.
An apple.
Nothing at all. Anyway.
Where the fuck is the cheeseburger?
No amount of money compensates for being
Not over here.
smug assholes.
Oh, there's like a muffin in there.
Excuse me? That's it. Stop. I'm coming for you!
Welcome back, Welsh. Apple.
We are talking about the famous Mark Society signature.
This. Never have enough apples. That's it. You're off stream. I sent you a clip or you sent the Bois stream. Ah, thank you, Penny. Thank you. Check it out.
I'm telling you, it's in the realm of possibility. It could happen, theoretically. And
We might have a situation.
There's like a blueberry muffin here. Okay.
I mean, imagine having that kind of power over other people.
Oh.
Okay. Probably allowed over here, right? So there is the Master of Ceremonies.
What's with that weird bird effigy?
It's the annual Phoenix ceremony. It symbolizes the collapse of
Anybody tell me
civilization.
where I can find the burger?
Rebirth. I get it.
The news is that the Master of Ceremonies will light the effigy on fire.
If the pressure's off, just hit. The bombing mechanism failed. Effigy without proper measure.
Same kind of repels into an ancient temple full of death traps. Thanks.
Allowed here. Cheeseburger upstairs, maybe? Big burger here. Whoa, 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 whoa.
How the hell did she pull that off? Patricia Van Horn is one of the world's
Fuck.
most influential art patrons. Her gallery has donated 10.
You donating this year? Or are you afraid I'll be? Oh?
What was that? Someone should go and see. Now.
Okay.
Say what?
Okay. Give me that outfit. Bit more leeway on where to go. Okay. Yeah, I can't unlock that right like this because then they will be on to me.
From a known terrorist. Just humor me for a second.
Humor you for a second? No. How about no? Let's not say we did.
They say it belonged to Montezuma himself. It was long.
Want to know where that cheeseburger burger on scale is. Let's see. Search. Looking on hit maps. Cheeseburger. Where the hell is it? Level. That is the chapel. Going to the land we're gonna get. What? Oh, it's okay.
Lost for over 500
The helipad.
years. Oh, until Blake Nathaniel extraordinary.
Oh, where the hell am I? Oh, I need.
Necklace. Anyway, the Washington police found it.
Hey, dude.
Hey, bub.
Wow. How does the one guy not wearing a mask still come across as anonymous?
It's a gift.
Okay.
So.
It's a gift.
Oh man, do you remember that monkey?
There it is.
Chandra Gupta
Yum.
fella, and presumably he was cursed.
Exciting.
This was pretty bad luck for those.
Okay, let's pick up some coins while we're here.
You do it. Seriously, I'll pay you.
Me? You're the master of ceremony.
I'm a multiple Tony Award. Huh?
Two of them.
I'm a multiple Tony Award-winning playwright. And famously reclusive. It's part of my brand.
Awesome.
Never got in a spot like this. Besides,
Oh, no, you don't! Drop!
Crap.
The fire! Don't move!
Could I have lured him in here? Oh, still. And I have these two jokers.
Hello there, sir. No way.
He doesn't like me.
You! Hey, sir! Last warning!
Command, got someone on the ground. Hold on.
He doesn't care anymore.
Shit!
Okay. See, the cheeseburger is over there. Chapel. Go fetch the blueberry muffin. Is there another blueberry muffin somewhere, maybe? Berry muffin. Located on level 2. Only in the guardhouse barracks. Okay. It's blueberry muffin, burger, and an apple. Apple's also only in the kitchen. Very much higher up. Is in the lower courtyard. Oh, that's the bar. Old showroom. Going anywhere near that, right? Otherwise, I was thinking maybe start over here. Then I don't have the... Could start... Still best to start over here. Because then I can get to my car easily. Don't really need this. You guys were right. This is a pain in the ass.
My friend, it's not just any old drink. We are talking about the famous society.
Apple to papple.
So is it? Why does it matter?
We're people too, asshole.
Oh crap.
Hello there.
Hey Julian, welcome. Friday. Wonderful day.
Okay, everything's good.
Gonna piss off now? Thank you. Nothing.
Pulls down his mask and says hello. Crazy fucker. He's building his own spaceship out of bamboo. And while we're wasting time, around the perimeter, we might miss out on the bigger picture. You get me?
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we need to get up there. Probably I'm not allowed up there in this outfit. Out a bit.
Oh.
Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Julian.
You gotta get
swifty. She doesn't like me.
You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty.
Time to get swifty.
Right, I'll beat you.
Anybody coming here if I do this?
What was that? The Ark
Oh, the lady.
This keeps happening again and again today.
As a chef, I'm not really allowed outside there.
It was lost for
I think.
over 500 years.
Allowed to go here, right?
I can't allow you to go through here.
Yeah.
Please don't spit in my soup.
Anyway, the Washington twins found it first.
Please don't spit in my soup.
Sophia literally has the necklace in her hand.
Oh, it's these two. Okay, so maybe I can get the... Good. I drop this. Wonder if one of them will see it and then I can knock him out.
What was that?
Whoa. That was a big swoosh. Okay, cool. Got him. Alright. Still doesn't like me. So.
I've never seen anything like it.
Here. Here.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Have a good evening, man.
You. Oh. I make him come over here, maybe.
I'm back, I'll check it out.
Oh, maybe I can just make him fuck off.
I'll pay you.
Let's go away.
I'm a
bit.
multiple Tony award-winning playwright. And famously reclusive.
Sir.
It's part of my... Huh?
Back off. Understand?
Yeah.
Look, I just found this weapon lying around over there, and
Okay.
I am a pacifist, so I am not touching it.
Calm down.
I am
calm
not
down.
touching
Not
it.
Another one. This is a disgrace.
Not
Really.
another one, so that means it happens on a very regular basis.
I'm a multiple Tony award-winning playwright. And famously reclusive. It's part of my brand. I never go in the spot like this. Besides, I do chamber plays. Spectacle. Holy shit!
Oh, he's back more quickly than I anticipated.
Hey, come on. Come on.
Jesus H. Christ!
Hey, security guy, hold up just a minute. Hey, don't ignore me. Don't.
Fuck me. Oh, and he's got to be the sacrificial knife. Where the fuck do I get the sacrificial knife? That, like, in the gallery? That... Oh, okay, so that's outside the freezer. Ooh, okay. Just completed a level with clown suit and no disguise. Nice! I don't know how, but I made it. Very good. Yeah, suit only. That's always a challenge. Okay, so this is it. So basically, what's happening? He goes in here. Why is this door locked? Goes here, and there's a... Oh, I'm trespassing. Where is the... Takes the gun and places it right here, so she's only away for a very short time. And the problem is, I can't knock it out. Maybe I lure him over there. Also a problem because it's in full view of that dude if I knock him out here. Maybe put over here. That's risky. Up. Okay, so that works. Muffin, so let's see if same goes for the muffin. Up. That is the formula. Pain in the ass. Need his outfit for... Except him. Knight's arm. Is he up there? Oh, up there. Gotta be the knight's armor, yeah. The long sword, broadsword. Saber. Why does it need to be something else? Where the fuck is the saber? Oh my god. I thought maybe I could start over here. Saber. Ah, bugger. Then if I do that, I gotta then go down and go up, so that's not handy dandy. Where is the saber? Where is the saber? Here. Ooh, on level 4. That balcony. That's the stairway. Okay. And all the way on level 6. Constance office. Okay. The problem is, oh my god.
My friend, it's not just any old drink. We are talking about the fate of
This. Oh. What? Oh. Huh? According to hit maps, it should be right here. Level 2. Freezer. Thought it might be in there. Bone. The fuck? Do any of you guys know where I can find then the sacrificial knife? Hitmaps is telling me it's... Oh my god, golden idol must be placed below. Level 1. Oh my god, so you got it... Where the fuck? Golden idol then? Gallery. Man, the one that made this contract, like a fat one. What the fuck, man?
Hey, chef!
They say it belonged to Montezuma himself. It was lost for over 500 years, until Blake Nathaniel unsealed the Serpent's tomb. Extraordinary.
It's a flipping necklace. Anyway, the Washington twins found it first. The way I hear it, Sophia literally has...
Oi, you! Chefy boy!
Have another look.
See that you do. And when you do... Hey!
More pressure. Just what I need.
It was nothing. Thank goodness.
Oh, so you're saying I maybe need to bring it with me? Where the hell do I need to place this thing? Golden idol place. Locked cell. Back corner. Okay. What? Telling me to place it like right over here. Man, this is bullshit. Let's see. Instead of coins. Sacrificial knife. Okay. Hopefully that will suffice. Let's see. Yeah, it looks the same, right? Apparently you can get it by placing the golden idol there somewhere, according to hit maps. So I know where the blueberry muffin is, the cheeseburgers and the apples. Saber is upstairs. Where's the fucking saber? Where was that? Saber. Level 4. Oh, it's in the hallway, balcony hall. Gotta shoot it off the wall, I guess. And otherwise there's one. Oh, if I go up, there's one in the Constance office. They're all up there anyway. Okay. Rock, that's a... Yeah, good shout out, Julian. Go.
So is it?
Why does it matter?
Huh?
Thank you would be nice.
What the hell is wrong with these
Okay. Get myself a muffin.
We should go bankrupt tomorrow and live in the streets just to feel alive.
Gotta be kidding me.
We might have a situation.
Okay. Pumping stick. Do 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 do. What if? Wrong side of the wall, you can't hear him. VR outfit. Yep. Okay, so that will allow me to go over here.
Bird effigy. It's the annual Phoenix.
Oh, he doesn't like me.
Strange.
If the pressure drops just a bit, the locking mechanism.
Whew. Okay. Here.
She's like, how can you possibly make so much money then?
Bomb.
Remember that monkey?
Temple over here, yes. Oh, but now I'm trespassing.
You do it. Seriously, I'll pay you.
Me? You're the master of ceremony.
I'm a multiple Tony award-winning playwright. And famously reclusive. It's part of my brand. I never go in the spot like this. Besides, I do chamber plays.
Hello, fellas.
Spectacle.
Is there a box here? Yes. Get over here.
Huh?
Okay.
Command, we might have a situation.
Pumping stick.
I'll check the perimeter. Over.
Oh. He's gonna wake up with a headache. Of these conveniently placed boxes everywhere.
Jeez.
Come in, come in. Heard something weird. I'm gonna check it out. Just making room so I can lure the other guy in here. Yep. Right. Now. Can I lure this guy only over? Interesting.
Okay.
You stay here and try not to get in my way, alright? Exactly. You think I'm insane?
Okay.
2 centuries later. 2,000 years later. Oh. get you out of the way. Now the box is full, but yeah, gotta put him somewhere. Okay. Gives us room. Give me rank.
What?
Okay, maar he's got to be melee with the sacrificial knife. Did I got the? Oh yeah, I got the. I wonder where he goes, so let's just take a kill over here. He's him, okay, cool. Now we gotta wait for him to go get some clothes.
Try and get up. Do we have a description of the suspect?
Oh, I should have boxed up the other dude. They don't like me.
What? Come on, get up. Don't waste more time.
Oh my god, please!
Do we have
Something
any
really
idea
bad
of the
is
suspect?
happening.
I didn't really see him.
Oh, I.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
See that thing hovering on his back? That's where his outfit was, I guess. Bit of a weird model. Okay. Now you gotta notice he's naked.
So annoying.
So annoying. Okay. Where is he off to?
Vinegar, thank Christ. Ready when you are.
Wow. So what happened here? Where your clothes?
I know that look. Option overload.
Well, you know what I want. Now I just have to shut up the voice that tells me
Official knife.
middle class upbringing. What did you have?
I got the 4-bedroom suite.
Killer.
Surprise, motherfucker. Okay. Right over here. Don't want to put you down the hole because... Okay. Right. Let's see. I gotta go get the cheeseburger.
This one belonged to Thomas Cross. One man's loss, as they say.
Excuse me?
How much?
Hey, slow down, my friend.
Right. Oh, but now I'm not allowed there, I guess. Outfit.
That's the master of ceremonies. The show must be about to start.
Master of ceremonies.
What's with the donations?
Come on, need more tokens. They can't all be gone.
Pom 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 pom.
Tried to explain to her that I signed this. I couldn't tell her anything even if I wanted to. She just looked at me and said, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, my parents asked a lot of questions to begin with. Like a lot of frickin' questions.
Jeez.
We should really check that out. Go have a look-see, please.
Got it.
Great.
Yes, I know I need the outfit, but I also need to get in here for a second to get the burger.
Did I ever tell you about my mission in Egypt?
Oh fuck, I cannot be in this outfit.
This old loon was safeguarding, ranting about how he was from the bloodline of the pharaohs, having amulet
Of can I like outfit?
Then kill them and take all their strange old stuff. It's really nothing quite like it.
Wait for him to turn around. You're at the burger. Then I have the muffin, the apple, and the. Okay. Uh-huh. Am I okay? Ceremonies. Cool. Now I need to get up there.
Oh look, he's here. The master of ceremonies.
Can I go to the gate? I need to.
Okay, I know how this works.
Can I interest you?
Hey man, I'm a VIP. I can go in there, right?
Sorry, sir. Got orders. Can't let you through. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Fuck.
Honestly, it's not my business anymore. Have you eaten anything?
Okay, we'll go around. So that's another pain in the ass part of this contract, getting around in this outfit because I need to go somewhere where I'm not allowed. Am I allowed here, dudes?
Oh. Yeah, man, you're looking jacked.
Master.
So afraid to move on. Afraid I'm gonna get caught.
I'm not grumpy. That is really insensitive of you to say.
Already like.
You donating this year?
What are you afraid I'll be?
Oh.
Cloud
Oh.
serpent.
Honored.
They say it belonged to Montezuma himself. It was lost for over 500 years.
Yeah. Because I need Uber and I.
Nathaniel unsealed the serpent's tomb.
Is the interview room ready?
Just about, madam.
Hello.
Have a good evening, sir.
The equipment set
Yo.
up and your colleagues down there calibrating.
Nice. I can't wait to see the initiate's face.
About that. The polygraph I get. An ECT device.
The problem with this is I cannot carry it around, right?
Tell the truth, I won't.
But
to embrace the green
they're
revolution.
pampered billionaires.
That chance.
Think of who you're messing
The
with.
original five are
Sue you
all
blind
Okay.
if you like.
Good day
Oh.
to you, sir.
A box here where I can box him up.
This again.
Okay. Get over here. Bob. Oh, not this one, please. Bit loud. Tell me she's coming in here. Whew. Sure. Fuck.
What that was.
It was nothing, sir.
Okay then.
It was a big, large nothing burger. Please fuck off.
Whoa!
Hey. Oh, God.
The glass didn't shatter, did it? Or don't you need to shatter it to pick it up?
What's that command? Okay, continuing search.
You accountable for this mess?
Ah, fuck me, man!
Shifty, look at me. No.
God damn it.
How unfortunate. That will affect your final payment.
Corrado just redeemed. How unfortunate.
Now they're... Because I was impatient,
I'm not saying all Delgado's pieces were great.
I can just
I mean, the
pick it up.
symbolism from ancient Greece was a little bit too.
Then you can just bring it upstairs. This dude.
But I think we both.
There. Why can't I go up from...
Sophia the schemer. What's she up to
Get a
this time?
steamer.
You know that Kronstadt designer in charge of the brain upload program?
Sure. What did he do?
I don't know.
Fuck me, man.
My guess is that any impending collapse will go hand in hand with
Over here. Okay. Well, put it here. Then I have to go back for my outfit. I have to go up here, but I gotta knock him out first, but no, it can't be because it's gotta be melee, so I gotta go through the inside. Out. Gotta go. Gotta go.
What?
Avoid him somehow and then go up here. It isn't just killing them with all that bullshit.
Even if the council can't come to
Because the Master of Ceremonies isn't allowed here either. Because I gotta get to that door over there.
Mark, I have nothing to report from my current location. Over.
Keep your eyes open.
Go up here.
Holy shit!
I lost my
What the hell? Command, be advised, we have a casualty. Moving in.
He's the cheeseburger dude.
No! It's good!
Tony, cover me!
Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Man, this is such a pain in the ass contract, really. We know where all the parts are.
My friend, it's not just any old train. We are talking about the famous Arc Society signature.
Frank.
So late. So is it? Why does it
No amount of money compensates for being around these.
Come on. Nothing here.
I'm not kidding. He actually believed that it might be hollow and there could be living dinosaurs in some old cave.
Heard it? Go see.
Acknowledge.
Fuck me, man. Can I see the
Don't say.
order from the window? This box where it goes.
Holy crap! Getting here.
Might as well start before they calm down. Starting again. Man, this is Peter.
Tell me, my friend, it's not just any old drink. We are talking about the famous artist.
Got the
That is so lame.
Get the blueberry muffin. Action.
Man, this is a tough crowd. I've worked the MMA circuit.
Strange.
You want to have a look?
Okay. Muffin.
Pulls down his mask and says hello. Crazy fucker.
Gun just for giggles.
Is that?
That's
Yeah, T here. Just checking on things now.
Are you kidding me? They hear that, but they don't? God damn it, man. Gotta keep the...
That stupid drink. Why can't you tell me it was my friend? It's not.
Not use it on the other dudes. Cool.
Here I tell myself that this is the last year.
Coin.
Okay. Hey, you were gonna follow.
Why? When they look that way, when I throw the apricot, they face me for some reason.
Deal with that stupid drink. Why can't you tell me it was my friend? It's not just any old drink. We are talking about.
Okay. This is probably also what I do when I get a little bit pissed off. I start fast, and going fast isn't always the best way.
Find out what that was.
Probably saw it flying the first time, so
Forever changed his life, and it wouldn't even.
faced me looking in the direction that coming from.
Oh. We might have a situation. Sweeping area open.
Okay. Coin. Dudes. Okay. Okay.
What's with that weird bird effigy?
It's the annual Phoenix, sir.
Weird bird effigy.
It symbolizes the collapse of civilization from which the Ark Society emerges unscathed.
Ah, rebirth. I get that.
What's new is that the Master of Ceremonies will likely have
I don't see nothing to worry about.
Okay. Fuck me, man. I had to turn around the second I knocked the other guy out.
Great. We are talking about the famous Ark Society.
Oh.
It's so late.
So is it?
This one. Grr, yeah. No, I don't want to throw my apple.
Excuse me?
Hey, you! You need to follow me.
What are you doing? Freeze right there. There.
Jesus Christ! He's pulling off.
This close to fucking calling this contract and going on doing something else. Oh.
My friend.
Are you serious?
Oh. Uh-huh. No one ever taught you any manners.
Nobody taught you any manners.
I'm not kidding. He actually believed that it might be
Nothing.
living dinosaurs in some cave.
Okay, guys talking about Hollow Earth or something.
Whoa.
Okay.
Man, we might have a situation. Okay. Whoa, psycho, I saw that. What are you, crazy?
Oh my god. And there's like a 99.8 chance if I throw the hammer, other dude will hear that too.
My friend, it's not.
So ridiculous. Okay.
What?
Huh? Okay.
Sir, please refrain from throwing.
Stupid drink. What can you tell me what's in it? My friend.
Okay, so maybe I'll try to go past the other end. Serious?
Here I tell myself that this is the last year, yet I'm still here.
Huh? What? Hey! We don't just throw shit around here, okay? Please behave.
Okay.
If something comes
Nothing.
Down his mask and says hello.
Gun for shit giggles. Use that to lure a dude away.
Huh?
Uh.
Yeah, me here. Just checking upstairs now.
Bumper. Coin. Okay. Right. Right.
Say, is that the bar son had his all master ceremonies?
Pom pom. Here. Rid of these two jokers.
Find out what that was.
No worries.
Close enough.
Huh?
Okay. Wait, did I pick up the hammer?
What?
Annoying.
We might have a possible disturbance. I'm moving to investigate. We'll keep you posted.
Diddle diddle diddle. Not like the music is
Okay.
wrecking or something. Like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Something weird. I'm gonna go check it out.
Bumper up there. Okay. Here. Doo-doo. Okay. Put you here. Some games are good at their music. Make you want to rush. Yeah. Succeeding.
Seriously, I'll pay you.
Me? You're the master of ceremony.
Oh, now they're going through their routine.
I'm a multiple Tony award-winning playwright.
This?
And
Okay.
Hey, go see what that was.
okie dokie.
Saves me a dart. Okay. Okay. I'm in the box over there. What's in the box? Okay. How am I doing? Oh. Dark.
Hello there.
Hi there, Proet. Let's see. Okay, everybody is boxed up. Gonna this. Did this. Body found. Okay, that's cool. Oh shit.
Here, over. What is this, sir? Did you do?
Fuck me, I messed up. Oh. I gotta go take a pee. I will be right back. Pro, what map are you playing in? This is Scale. This is one of the featured contracts. It's my last one. And it's a pain in the ass. And really help me. For now, I don't see another route, so. Okay, get this one. Gale is the one. That's the island in the middle of the ocean. You start in the harbor, very rough seas. Okay. Bring me a glass of bubbly.
Command, something fell to the ground. I'm checking it out.
Okay. This is a especially annoying contract because I have to kill people with foodstuffs. Like a muffin and a cheeseburger.
What? We might to have a situation.
Get him. Take his outfit. Box here. Matter.
How did...
Okay, get your outfit. Oh. Okay. Good go. All the way over there. Pump with.
Say, is that the, I'm just sat on the seat with space monster ceremony.
Out of the way, dudes. Important people coming through. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What was that? Someone should go and see. Now.
On it.
Hammer. Hammer. Bonk. Okay. Coin.
Okay.
Oh. Bagging him, I'm gonna
Man,
walk up here.
I just heard a weird noise. I'm moving in to investigate.
Today, soldier, come on, get a move on.
What?
Do.
Man, I just heard something.
You don't have to call it in again.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Also, you just told them there was a weird noise. It's an old creaky castle. Always weird noises. Go. Okay. That's... Huh, interesting.
Vinegar. Thank Christ. Ready when you are.
Right, so he's gonna wake him up. Gonna go over there to get some clothes, and then I can stabby him. Ugh. Come on, dude. No too short. Kid. Hey, chill out. Go there. Master Service.
Who's this guy? Oh, it must be the MOC.
MOC.
Looking good, sir.
In.
I know that much. Option over.
There's a box right there. Cool.
I know what I want. Now I... Middle class upbringing. What did you get?
I got the 4-bedroom suite with the oaken floors. Set me back a cool $99 million. But hey, it's probably tax deductible, right?
Oh, there he comes.
How about you?
My ex-husband scored the old 3-bedroom suite that I purchased back in May when the plan...
Hey! You!
Right now.
You were wearing my clothes. I need those back right now. Are you not listening to me? Hold it right there, asshole!
Why are you here, lady? Go away.
For the love of God, please! I need help!
What the?
Don't do...
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Getting bored with this. I'm getting bored with this.
Tell me what's in it, my friend.
The last run I'm trying, then I'm gonna move on because you're serious.
No amount of money compensates for being around
What? Oh.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, you piss off, dude. Yep. So well. I had to mix it up.
And live in the streets just to feel alive again. You know?
Probably just a seagull.
What was that?
Okay.
Got some strange
Right. Omper yet because it's right over there. Back on. Okay. Hammer. And then
Say, is that the, Oh, that brat takes everything. Master ceremony.
Uh-huh.
just the fact that I have to get rid of these things. Pick up the other.
Okay.
Hey, could you find out what that was?
10-4.
Okay. He can come up without phoning it in again. Okay. Marine.
We might have a possible disturbance.
Ozzy, he'll have to call it in again.
Investigate. We'll keep you posted.
Boom. Hey, box you up. Go. Over here. Okay. Okay. Now, get my ass to the suite over there.
Jesus. Oh, must be the NOC.
Boom, 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 boom. I think he recognizes me, whatever, right? No, I can't. Oh, over. Realizing he's naked. Rest, I go in all the way, right?
What was that noise? I'm awesome.
Door.
Whoa,
Surprise, motherfucker. Go. Okay. Go back to the apple. Wrong way.
Right, hello.
Gotta get a cheeseburger.
Oh, look, he's here. The master of ceremonies.
Oh, but the I know. custodian or whatever it is. Take his outfit. Woohoo! Strategy. This dude can go in there. No. Here. Good. Okay. Gotta wait for him. Go back to that thing, to the recorder, which is broken right now because I shot the other one. Fix
You know,
both of them.
if those ancient civilizations were so great, how come they're all dead? We represent the new pinnacle of mankind. So I say it's only fair.
That's. Oh, because that outfit is out there. I gotta go up there for. Saber. A lot of back and forth.
Just for a few minutes. I just want to peek.
Nothing for you past here, sir. You better get back to work.
Sir, you heard him. He can't be here.
My attention.
Pathetic Blake. Just
Constant. Their outfit.
Remember the time we received a whole shipment of scrolls from Jordan?
Box in here.
Okay. Hello? Is anyone there? Who made that sound?
Oh, didn't. Got to pick up the idiot.
Huh, strange.
They're like a. People over the head with that. Gotta get up there. Following this dude. And bring that with me. Oh my god.
Sophia the schemer.
Pudding.
What's she up to this time?
You know that Kronstadt designer in charge of
where I wanted to be. I'm like,
Part of it.
I'm
But
lost.
an order's an order. Guess we've all been down that road.
Poor bastard. Well, that's what you get for inventing kill switches, I suppose.
Crap. This isn't the stairway I need to be.
Telling you, even a damn ghost couldn't get past the
The council meeting. You know what it's about?
Climate change. Sophia Washington is trying to persuade Janus's original 5 to embrace the Green Revolution.
But it isn't open. This.
Okay.
Ah. Okay. Gotcha. Still can't just pick it up with, like this.
You and me, though?
No,
We'll be
so
fine
I gotta.
anyway.
Sure, but still.
It's
Have
out
to.
of our hands. All we can do is ride the wave.
Yes, it's interesting how after Delgado fell off the radar, suddenly became available.
I think that we know how to handle it better than we did. I mean, I'm sorry for him, but hey!
Okay, let them settle down for a second. Now don't mess it up, let them settle down entirely before going in. Just hope they don't come out here. Good. Okay.
Is anyone there? I certainly don't leave
Negative.
that animal.
We're good.
Copper drawings are safe with our snout.
Now I can pick this up.
Oh, okay then.
Good evening to you.
Okay.
So, brain uploads, huh? Living forever as a string of
Okay.
code.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not in a million years.
What did they offer you? For your services to the Order?
Level 5 bunker.
How you got away.
The old lighter and spray deodorant trick. But not
Wait,
without a
there's,
few nasty bite marks, though.
No, can't help you, man.
Oh man, this entire quick change thing just to get the saber up there is an.
Ah, let's have it.
I gave you a task.
Good to see you, sir.
Should have been an easy sell, and yet, I hear the council is on
tripping up the climate effort to
See
serve
where
us all so
what I need to do to get upstairs past all these guards.
Captain Oil's been planning the
Oh my god,
for a while.
key card to get up further.
Swooping up their patents. You know, the usual strategy.
So go here. Trouble is, this dude, I need to be in an armor, and for E to be ceremonies, I can't knock him out because I gotta melee him with the saber. Nasty. Okay, so no. Gotta put that over.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing really.
Wow. Hey.
Hey. Hey, good look. Good cooking. Okay, so my saber is over. Gonna plant it so it doesn't get by the map. Gotta go get my outfit. Boy.
Sure. Our parents were afraid of them.
This
But I think we both know that if it happens, there'll be some other
here. Yeah, I can go through outside.
The council's still in session?
No, they've called a recess. Sophia Washington wants them to pass some kind of motion, but one of the council members is fighting her tooth and nail.
Wouldn't have to be Jebediah Block, coal bearer.
This is where I left the outfit.
If these walls could talk, what would they say?
Okay. Oh. Am I allowed? Oh, they don't like. Nobody likes me. Oh no, it's not me. What? Oh. Out here? Okay. Okay. The outside. Safe. What I want to do is if I can't get up where the harp lady is playing, the blind lady, be able to go up the water spout. Right. Work. Oh, that means I gotta get up there and I can't.
Stop playing. I need the floor full.
Crap. We gotta go somewhere where I'm not allowed. Without getting caught. God.
Can I have your attention, please? Now that everybody's here, we're ready to proceed. Please make your way to the upper courtyard. The ceremony is about to begin. Thank you.
Gotta get there.
One of these rich guys was drilling a tunnel.
Burger to apple.
I'm not kidding. There's actually a place in Holland with living guns.
Hey. Pom 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 pom. Here. Down. You.
The preservation specialist is getting it ready.
There's no other way to get up there. Gotta go up.
Dispatch. I've got a body on the ground. Hold on.
Jeez!
What?
Up on your feet again, my friend. You're
Oh my god.
Any description? What does he look like?
Looks like a ceremonial master.
Shh, don't talk. I just realized. I just saw that man. Looks like we have a valid description of the bastard. The master of ceremonies. I think our guy's trying to take his place. Come on, come in. You copy? Yeah, I'm here now. No, nothing. It's quiet here. Over.
Fuck me, man.
Roger that. Moving to that location. Out. All clear.
Contract. This is the one of the featured contracts.
Hey, you there? You okay? You should get up now. He's gone.
Hey, you all right?
So done with this. Takes like
Hey.
takes
Hey.
25 minutes to get up here,
Hello?
get in position, and then you gotta
You should get up.
manage this, and he still
Got away.
sees the bodies. Fucking all.
Jeez.
Why can I still can't get in here? I can. Please don't tell me this is the table one. Still salvage this. You go all the way down there. Good God. I'm hoping my red guns go away once I kill these guys. I don't think they alarmed anybody else. Once he goes past me, we'll see those guys, but I can... Takes like an hour for him to get upstairs, but... Come on, dude, come on, come on, come on, come on. Like... You have already more patience than I would with it, yeah. Oh, that link is probably dead. Oh no, maybe I updated it. Walk past me and then I can go grab this and stab him.
Oh shit.
Oh, he sees the gun.
Is that what I think it is? Please don't!
Okay, so Master of Ceremonies. This, okay. Now. Gun. Separate these two for a bit. He is the blueberry muffin. Oh. Up, up. Up. Muffin. Is the apple. Apple. They keep. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Cotton Cake. Let's see. Do I still have my...
It's time to get swifty.
Oh, here's the... Get him up here.
Okay.
Whatever he wants to see. Burglar.
What the hell? Command, do you read me? Over.
Master of Ceremonies. Okay. Da, 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 da. Cheeseburger. Yes! Green guns, baby. Now all I have to do is get the fuck out of here. Now, let's not get caught on the way down. Sorry. Passing through. Oh right, there was also only one exit, right? Is that? What do I need for that? GPS module? Tries a hand flare. Okay. That. Or. Oh my god. All the way in our control room? Gotta be fucking kidding me, man. So I gotta go all the way over here. Okay. This is level 4. 5. I gotta go down even one. Okay. Now I gotta go to the... Right. Oh. Right over there. Man, this is not a fun contract. Wonder if I'm allowed in here. I am, okay. Where's the hand flare?
Every 2 hours. If there's any further deterioration, got that? Roger that.
It is faded exactly here. Here? Yes. Oh, I go. Okay. What? I need to go over there. Okay. Not a very big deal, I think, right now. Watching out for forcers. Goes down, right? This goes up. There we go. Yes. Good God, man. Oh. Oh. I'm also glad the constant didn't go back to the glass box upstairs. Otherwise, you would have found the bodies. Man. What the fucking idiot. Argus in 7 minutes. In 40 seconds? Yeah, right. Argus in 4:47. Man, Argus is boosting. Gotta be. Boosting to stuff from my upstairs. Whatever. Good grief. That deserves a...
Duh. Winning.
That was wonderful. Bravo. I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
For the contract.
Well, it wasn't bad. Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though. It could have been a lot better. I didn't really like it. It was pretty terrible. It was bad. It was awful. It was terrible. Get him away. Hey,
Ooh. That was indeed awful. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Not Murder Friday. Okay, who's playing Hitman? The Hitman category. Okay. Oh, that is Hit. Mission. There we go. Uncle is. Don't know the others. Seagull. Stevie Seagull. 20, I think he hangs out in. Let's go. Yeah, Skunkle. I've seen his name. He is playing freelancer from the looks of it. So let's go say hello to Skunkle. Why? So. Okay. Jeez. Well, it takes like 3 seconds for my keys to That's the raid message for if you're not a subscriber. And let's go with this one. If you are a subscriber, please copy and paste that message when we go over. And yeah, thank you guys for sticking with me through that horrible contract. At least I got all my each contracts done. And yeah, I don't think I can stream this weekend, so I will be back next Friday. And I hope you guys will have a very good weekend. Catch you guys